what's coming up with these volunteer efforts.
Right.
I believe y'all have one coming up on March 7th.
That's right.
To get people who are passionate about this issue, that they can come and get involved with these cleanup efforts themselves. They don't need a backhoe or an excavator. They just need
there's
2 pairs of hands and
two pairs of hands,
and a willing heart.
Yeah, a bucket of seed, a couple plantings, maybe some work gloves or waders that we can provide. But yes, that's a great question. Look, we'd love to get our volunteers and our MountainTrue members out on our waterways. So if folks want to get involved, they can check our social media channels, Watauga Riverkeeper, MountainTrue. So they're region-wide volunteer efforts, and they're all listed on our website, mountaintrue.org, where you can click the link in any of our social media bios for a volunteer opportunity. So there are opportunities to work here locally in the high country. We've got upcoming debris, trash cleanups. We have the live staking work days as well, and those are being held on the Watauga and New Rivers, but also areas like the French Broad and the Broad River and the Green River. So all across the region, there are ways to get involved, and we'd love to see folks out on the river.
Yeah, and I think the one on the 7th, that's the Boone Greenway Trail.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important because I think that's, maybe if you're a new person or someone who's just now getting familiar with this issue, that's an area that is very easily accessible, but it's also very visible, where you have people from all over the country that come here. And so I think that's an important area because it's so out of the open and used by so many people here locally.
Right. There's nowhere in the high country that doesn't need some love and attention. But our focus has been on a lot of our public lands. So our local land trusts and local governments have done a tremendous job providing these public access points. So things like the Boone Greenway or Blue Ridge Conservancy's kind of their Middle Fork Greenway, and then the Watauga River Paddle Trail, New River Paddle Trail. There are all these wonderful sections of the river that are open to the public. One of our focuses has been, cleaning up the trash and removing the debris, and planting live stakes where we can to preserve kind of the health and the natural beauty of these spaces, so people can get out and reconnect with the river. And because I don't know, for me, the river has always been like a place of peace and adventure where I go for renewal. Right. And then, kind of after the storm, I found I was like a little overwhelmed with feelings when I went to the river. So now, it's a place of, people can give back and clean up. So, but we're very fortunate in the high country to have so many conservation groups invested in protecting these spaces or providing public resources. So there are a lot of these efforts are collaborative, groups coming together to clean things up because the scope of the problem, both, in Helene response, but day in, day out, year after year, the collaborative solutions are the best. So we're very delighted to be able to provide an opportunity for folks to come out and get involved, because we couldn't do it without volunteers and community support. We've got a great team. My colleagues Hannah and Emma have been spearheading these kind of volunteer work days and done a tremendous job. And we would love to see folks out there. Yeah,
and people can get involved to really help turn these places back into these places of rest and renewal that you mentioned. Yeah, and so people, I think the Boone Greenway is a great place for people to start, good entry point. But it also sounds like there's also other opportunities to maybe get to some harder reach places here in the county, then maybe also outside the county and more across the region, because it seems like MountainTrue is also has other opportunities for maybe people to get on the French Broad or out to Asheville or some of these other harder to reach areas.
And it's great. And now that the roads are more open, travel's a little safer. There's a little more clarity, like 221 back open through North Cove, and we've been taking the kind of the Spruce Pine Burnsville way. But there's opportunities all across the region. Our John Stamper, our cleanup coordinators, organizing things along the north and south toe. We've got an upcoming work day with Lees McRae College on the Elk River. So there's opportunities to get involved across the region. Like I'm going to head down the mountain to the cleanup at Silverline Park in Woodfin on the French Broad to work with some colleagues, and it's I think it's an impactful way to see other waterways and kind of meet other folks in the community, because there's like a nice social aspect to cleaning up. There's a sense of accomplishment and camaraderie that comes with cleaning up, and sometimes there's a social aspect. Folks will go out.
And that's a great aspect of it too, to really get out and meet new people. I know last weekend the cleanup on Elk River in Banner Elk got canceled on account of the snow.
Right.
So just on a whim, I heard word of a tree planting that Foothills Conservancy was doing, and I went down and got involved. And it was only just like a 2 or 3 hour workday, but immediately, you make like 5, 10, 12 new friends doing that, because you immediately have these connections with people. I'll tell you what, man, they had one lady out there who was, digging holes and doing the plantings, and she had her baby on her back the entire time she was doing that. And I was just like, she's like Superwoman. I was like so impressed that
I love
she was out there kicking butt like that.
And it's family affair. Kids are welcome and encouraged to come. But I have 2 young children myself. We've got a daughter in Willow who's 8 years old, and she's been playing trees since she was a baby. In my waders or on Betty's back, and we have photos where we're planting trees as a baby. But now we can go back and say, trees that are now taller than her, and say, we helped plant this. So I think there's something very gratifying in planting a tree. For me, cleaning up trash is important, and it's all well and good, but there'll always be more trash. But planting trees can be like a lasting, tangible thing. So I just feel a sense of gratification after a day of planting live stakes with a group of volunteers, because you can come back years later. And it was touring our watersheds after the storm. I was very encouraged to see a lot of our live stakes made it through. Because they native adapt to the environment.
So I know a lot of people, when they have kids, and over the years they you might get the kid to stand next to the door frame, and they have the marks, where they're grown over the years. But I guess in your household, it's more of a matter of, let's go back to this tree we planted.
Let's see how tall you are compared to this silky willow or silky dogwood. That sounds good. And I think these cleanup and restoration activities are kind of all ages, and they're across.
They're family friendly.
Family friendly across. This interesting time in the world, seeing people from all walks of life come together.
Absolutely.
Across socioeconomic or political divides to work on a shared resource, which is our rivers and streams and forests. Brings me a lot of hope. It's very encouraging to see folks tirelessly giving back.